Howdy folks, this is Rampage Reviews RAW for August 29th, 2016. Wow. Normally, I watch RAW, take a few minute break, gather my thoughts, put together a bullet point list of everything I want to talk about. But I'm not doing that tonight, folks. I finished RAW probably about 30 seconds ago, turned the camera on, and I'm sort of speechless. Watching Kevin Owens win the Universal title is amazing. Think of it this way. A year ago, he wasn't even on the main roster. He was in NXT. But in such a short period of time, he has become the guy for Monday Night Raw, the flagship product. We can argue back and forth all day whether SmackDown or Raw is doing better week to week. But historically, Raw is the flagship, and he now holds that title. Someone who 2 years ago wouldn't even been looked at by the WWE, and now he's champion. And that ending. Sure, Big Cass getting eliminated early on. We all sort of saw that coming because of the four guys in that match, he was the guy that wasn't going to win it. And to have Triple H show up, pedigree Roman Reigns, and feed him to Seth Rollins, we're like, okay, we get it. The Authority's back. He rolls Owens in the ring, and pedigrees Rollins, and hands the title to Kevin Owens. Why? Because Kevin Owens is your valedictorian of the class of NXT. I kept thinking of it tonight. People have called this the reality era, where you don't know where real life starts and where the show begins, and that line gets blurred. We had it with Daniel Bryan Miz promo last week. We've had it with Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. If you believe the reports online, Jericho didn't know what was going on. Heck, people are still debating whether it was real or not. In the end, does it matter? No, it's entertaining. But like tonight, it just kept down that pathway. And I thought that was amazing. I am super stoked. Let's take a look at what happened tonight. We opened with the four contenders in the ring with Corey Graves. I thought it was great. I loved the sort of whimsical Kevin Owens promo that turns into the full heel trash-talking promo. I loved that. I thought that was super rad. From there, we got our first match tonight. We have Neville versus Jericho. And this is actually a match with history. It's about last week that Jericho cost Neville his chance to be in the match fighting for the Universal title. It's a simple little thing, but a reason why these two guys are fighting. I thought it was a great match. It was Jericho trying to ground Neville, trying to outmaneuver his speed and agility. Simple story, and it works. I loved the end, where Jericho basically reverses a move into the Lion Tamer. They teased the Red Arrow multiple times. It is the old school, knee on the back of the head, pulling back on the body. Lion Tamer, that's the old school one, and it worked. Simple match, Jericho wins. We get one of the most amazing backstage segments. We have Bayley showing up for Raw. She's got her backpack. She turns to the first person she sees, some poor stage tech, introduces herself, hugs him, keeps walking, and runs into the New Day. And they're just sort of juking and jiving, eating their cereal, shooting the shit. And Bayley's like, awestruck that it's the New Day. And the New Day are awestruck that it's Bayley. it turns into just the most adorable promo ever. With them doing what the crowd sings for her doing the WWE Tag Team Champion bit with her hips, then Dana Brooks basically going out there and like talking trash that's not ladylike, and basically she tells Dana Brooke to shove it, and we get the challenge thrown down of New Day and Bayley versus Gallows, Anderson, and Dana Brooke. Awesome. Which leads into a later promo that is Gallows and Anderson. Now they're running a geriatric octogenarian clinic with Dana Brooke as their head nurse. It's amazing. It's super simple. It's cheesy. And these guys make it work. From there, we get our next match, which is Nia Jax versus... I would butcher her name if I tried to say it. She had basically a local enhancement talent who basically gets pummeled and defeated with the same fireman's carry into the sort of sidewalk slam finisher. I dig the move. I'm waiting to see who she starts facing that are named talents at this point. Part of, I think, the issue with the women's evolution at this point is they don't have anyone left that's sort of that lower echelon that can take a pounding like that. We don't have like a Tori Wilson right now who could get pounded and not expect to get a lot of moves in. From there we have Sami Zayn taking on Jinder Mahal. And this match, in a lot of ways, I enjoyed it. But the story of this match was not Sami Zayn versus Jinder Mahal. It was Sami Zayn and will his ankle hold up? And in the end, the answer is yes, it will. I was a little disappointed. I really hoped this match, since that was sort of the story they were telling, that Jinder Mahal would work on that ankle. The only time he ever grabbed Sami Zayn's leg was sort of pulling out of the ring. And even then, he grabbed the good leg, not the bad leg, regardless of what the announcers want to tell you. In the end, Sami Zayn does get the win. He hits the haluva kick in the corner and gets the 3 count free and clear, which basically, I think, frees him up of this worrisome ankle that we had from last week. After that, we have the New Day and Bayley taking on Dana Brooke, Gallows, and Anderson. I love it. New Day comes out with a normal entrance, but they stop on the entrance ramp. They also do the point back, bring Bayley out, which I thought was super cool. She comes out, does her little bit. We've got the wacky, waving, inflatable, crazy tube men. Great entrance. They come out, Gallows and Anderson come out with their... They don't have the lab coats on, but Dana Brooke does come out with the mask and the rubber glove, because she's Nurse Dana this week. I thought that was great. Oh, this is a great back and forth match. If you look at the tag team psychology in this match, it looks a lot like we saw at NXT TakeOver. Everything that we liked about Gargano and Ciampa versus Dash and Dawson comes into play here. We had distractions when they're making tags. We had taking out the opponent last minute. In the end, one member of the new... I think Kofi's in the ring. I think Big E's pulled off the apron, so Kofi has no choice. He has to tag Bayley in instead. Bayley basically squares off with Dana Brooks one more time. Ducks one move and basically counters it into the belly to Bayley slam. And she gets the pinfall for the 1-2-3 cleanly. Charlotte's on commentary at this point, who's obviously irate, who she's trained Dana Brooke the best she could, and it wasn't good enough. Other interesting thing is they did the Unicorn Stampede, and Bayley wasn't involved in that. But when they did the little Irish Whip drop kick, Bayley did get involved in that one. I think it's the first time we've seen a male and female sort of square off before. So that was an interesting little bit to see there. I don't know if we're heading back down the road of intergender matches or not, but we'll cross our fingers because if they do it, they could do it really well. Next up, we have Cesaro versus Sheamus. I don't know where we're going with this Best of 7 series. Like, normally, a Best of 7 match, or series, is people taking work a variety of different styles. And Sheamus and Cesaro, we get the same sort of hard-hitting, sort of brutal match each time. This time around, what ends it is they're on the outside. Cesaro charges Sheamus, and Sheamus literally back body drops him smack dab into the new ring post. They've got the new LED wrap, or it's a big metal container around the ring post with LED on two sides. And he goes back first into there. They roll him into the ring. He hits the cloverleaf, and basically Cesaro taps out almost instantly. I don't know. This was a weird match. Like, I don't see these two having the flexibility to work 7 matches and make them all interesting and unique. And that end spot just looked dangerous and just felt unsettling to me. But once again, if it's done right, it's more of the reality style stuff. So from there, we have Braun Strowman taking on Americo, who doesn't even get to finish the "Why do you think you can face Braun Strowman?" I don't know who Americo is. He looks like the most amazing creator wrestler from, like, THQ. He's like Aki Man crossed with Mr. America crossed with the Patriot. So I thought that was pretty rad. He gets trounced pretty badly by Braun Strowman, who beats him with a new move. He basically just tosses him up in the air and gets basically a hand on the back and just slams him down for the pinfall. There we go. And post-match, he actually rips the mask off of him. And he's basically holding the mask up, which is like the super Lucha Libre insult. So I don't know what's going on there. Braun Strowman doesn't play by our rules, doesn't play by wrestling rules. He plays by nobody's rules at this point. And it works. It makes him a uber heel. But he, once again, like Nia Jax, he needs to start facing named talent pretty soon. At that point, we have Stephanie McMahon storms to the ring. She demands that Paul Heyman come out and accept the consequences of Brock Lesnar's actions and apologize. Heyman comes out, starts cutting a promo. She cuts him off a couple of times, basically, no. This isn't about you. It's about what you're going to do. It's about your apology. And Heyman basically laughs it off, and he pulls out a stack of dollar bills like that. They're all banded. He's like, okay, I'll pay. 1, 2, 3. Just starts throwing singles at her in the ring. She gets mad, like, tosses his hands to the side, throws the money out of the ring, and basically demands that he apologize. And he starts to, and then he starts joking about it, and she really reams into him at that point. At which point, Heyman actually gets a real serious apology in there, but his apology is like, I've got your back, Brock Lesnar's got your back, because we know that you're the one destined to rule the boardroom. You're the one destined to inherit the throne. And they lay the whole seeds of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman can help you with what you need. I thought that was interesting. We'll see where it goes. We have Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young. After that, this is the rubber match, I guess. At this point, they faced off a couple times. This was a pretty standard back-and-forth match. In the end, Darren Young gets a roll-up on Titus O'Neil, and then gets jumped after the match. After that, we have our main event, which we talked about already, which is amazing. Kevin Owens is your new champ. Triple H has handpicked him over Seth Rollins. I think he is the first guy that's come all the way through NXT at this point, is what they're going to story they're going to go through. Because Seth Rollins was a graduate of NXT, but he was a student at FCW. So that's Raw this week. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Any questions or suggestions, anything you think I got wrong, please let me know in the comments down below. Please like, please subscribe, please share, use the hashtag right there, Rampage Reviews. And we'll see you next week.